you're supposed to break the stagger, as far as I understand. You're supposed to so you know that yellow bar underneath, you meant to get that down to 0, and once you've got that down to 0, you automatically kill him. That's basically what you're supposed to do. That's what makes that fight so hard. And it's not the only, like, Final Fantasy has bosses like that everywhere, so that should help with things a little bit. So I said I would play up until the thing. Also, Ben the Sodaman, hello. How are you doing? My name is Faz. I'm a variety streamer. I normally do pixel art. I normally do fighting games. I normally do, and I do games that either I've never played before, or have had an interest in type situation. And that's what I have been doing since my streaming started. I've been streaming for a very long time, I'm not gonna lie. I hope you're doing well. I have, though. I geared off the next main. So the thing is that I started doing that and then I died, and I personally hate the idea of having to jump in and out of a mission. So this is my way of sort of handling that. I was legitimately doing the side quests to not grind, to make sure I was ready for this next quest, and was like, oh, I have all these side missions I haven't done. I haven't played in 2 weeks. I guess this is good practice. Maybe I should just do this, you know. So we'll see how everything is going. So as far as I have been told, the fact that they're using I don't know what to really say right now, except for the fact that they're using the crisis core specific artwork to explain things. My guess is, I'm gonna take guesses. Because it's like, what does it all mean? It's always the question, right? Make sure you got some snacks. I'm hoping I've got the right stream. I looked on Twitter. I went on the internet. They said that the places to go is here and on YouTube. My assumption is that the YouTube one is already live. It's the right one. Yay! I found the right one. Okay, but if people do want to find it and watch it for themselves, I have put the link in the chat, just to make sure I have not lost anything. I will be putting everything on a lower scale. I really should get a new should be able to do something to sort out my my quality life. But yeah, I'm gonna notify track changes in theater mode. Let's just not do that, I guess. Hopefully it's not gonna get DMCA'd and I can continue doing this. Everyone and their mum, everyone and their proverbial parents are probably going to be watching this. Everyone who was there in ye old 1997. Has anyone here played the original Final Fantasy? Has anyone here played Final Fantasy Part 7 Part 2? Sorry, Part 1. I don't want to say kept saying Part 2. I want Part 2, but oh well. We'll see what we're saying right now. Has anyone had a chance to play Final Fantasy Part 7 Part 1? And has anyone have you finished Final Fantasy 7? Sorry, Strangers of Paradise. That's what I'm trying to say. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins is what I was trying to ask you, Ben. You said you've beaten it. How long did it take you? Was it easy for you? I can't. It is 11 o'clock. I see no stream. Right. It's over. Here we go. What are we seeing here? I'm resetting the player just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. Let's go crazy. Yep. Nothing. The anticipation is real. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm literally just resetting the player. I'm seeing names that I see in here. Now, how long do you have to be? I am following. I am following. So, I really like these announcements. The celebration is amazing. Maybe this is like the grandiose troll. Where he's like, the entire time was going to be, you get nothing! Good day, sir! I'm going to quickly check the YouTube. See if I'm going crazy. What is going? Nope. Yep. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same problem on the other side too. I don't know. Is the chat watching? I think the chat's not saying anything. Here we go. Yep. Here we go. There's a minute and a half left. The show remake. I feel like it was a countdown to a countdown. I don't know. I actually don't know what's going on. I've been told this is the right one, so I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna stick where I am. How are you doing, Jasmine? I'm gonna try and see through the matrix, everyone. I'm gonna see through the maybe they're waiting till 6:15. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad shout if they did and be like, yeah, we're gonna delay everything by about 10 to 15 minutes. But what are we expecting? I wonder if they're gonna do a Final Fantasy VII Part 1 or Final Fantasy VII orchestra thing. They might announce and they're gonna do a whole thing. You know, like how they did for the Sonic one. You said 6? It would have been 11. It says 3 p.m. PDT. Oh, we are live. We have things. We have an actual live. It's a restream? Live with restream. Oh, okay. It is live though. It is definitely real. Yes, it says 11 BST, which is UK time. Oh! Okay, guys. What? Daddy? Are we seeing this already? What is going on? Before Crisis. Crisis Core. Final Fantasy. Dirge of Cerberus. What are we seeing? Whew. We're here, boys. Can you guys hear everything? Hopefully you guys can hear everything.
Cloud, let us defy destiny.
Gonna drop plate number 7.
You're gonna do what?
What the? This will be a memory to cherish But I'm not your sister.
Goodbye, Rufus.
Let the hunt begin. Surrender to the darkness. Embrace it.
This is just wrong.
Intergrade. Okay. Okay. Fine. Cool.
皆さんこんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー7 25周年放送ファイナルファンタジー7 25th アニバーサリーセレブレーションの案内役を務めます北瀬義則です。この放送では FF7 に関連したさまざまな情報をお届けしていきます。短い時間ではありますが、皆様にお伝えしたい最新情報がたくさんありますので、ぜひ最後までお付き合いください。最初にご覧いただいたのはファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードの Steam 版の配信決定の
Why? Why you do this to me?
決定のお知らせです。
Why you doing this to me, Twitch? Is it just dead?
プレイステーション4版ファイナルファンタジー7リメイクはおかげさまで皆様に大変高い評価をいただきました。昨年はプレイステーション5版
I'm just gonna do
楽しん
this.
でいただきたいと考えております。
Just gonna do this just to try and... Is it breaking for everybody?
ファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードはすでに一部
So I had to lower the quality just because I wanted to make sure that we were on point. But I think this might be breaking Twitch right now.
Steam デックなら場所を選ばず気軽に本作をお楽し
What is going on? Is it going badly for everybody?
さて続いては FF725 周年に関連した情報をご覧ください。
Okay. I'm not against this. Okay, luckily, if I do this now... Why is it doing this? Is it starting for anybody else? Yeah, it looks like it's not just me. Everyone's having some issues right now with the Twitch version. Try YouTube. Okay, I need to link to the YouTube. Did I do this? I did. I'm a smart. Go away. No, I'm not a smart. Skip, 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 skip. Tell me what's going on. Okay, this is a little bit smoother. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I missed all the merch stuff. I'm so sorry. I will go back and watch it again.
FF725 周年ファンの皆様と楽しめるようさまざまな試みを準備して
Oh god, it's actually still doing it
お
here.
楽しみにお待ちください。それでは FF7 モバイルタイトルの情報を
Okay.
ご覧ください。
This gives me some buffer time to hopefully... Oh, we're gonna see the first... Oh wow, okay. They've actually got like more of an official art here. New style, machinist. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually kind of cool, and I wish this was... I guess more accessible is probably the best way to describe it. Like, you didn't need a good phone to play it. Stream looks good too. Thank you. This is a remake in the... Oh wait, we're finally seeing the Ever Crisis game, as far as I remember. Though it is interesting that you'll get to play Crisis Core in the old version. And then they bust into the remake version, graphics-wise. Oh, Aerith's there! Hang on. Is that Aerith with Zack? Wow, that's some new outfits that we've not seen before. Oh, god, that outfit looks cool! So investigate the old macro reactor. The macro reactor at Nibelheim? Yo. That was Genesis. This is an updated visual. Huh? Huh? That's a new visual. That's a new visual. We've never seen that version before.
現在配信中のファイナルファンタジー7ザ・ファーストソルジャーの新情報とファイナルファンタジー7エバークライシスの最新映像をお届けします。
Sephiroth with short hair.
続いてはこちらをご覧ください。FF7 ファンの皆様にはきっと喜んでいただける
Finally, I think ah
もちろん私自身も非常に楽しみ
my heart. Crisis Core. This is the original Crisis Core too, isn't it?
The price of freedom is
It's steep. This is the original Crisis Core. This is the PSP one, isn't it?
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach.
And Gio. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime.
Yeah. No. This is updated. Yeah, this is...
Soldier First Class Genesis. A month ago, he went missing during a mission in Wutai.
You know,
Is
I've
this
never
part of the remake?
that. Don't you think it's sort of a waste?
This is... No, this is a remake of the PSP version.
And rust.
Because the visuals are not the same, but... Oh, yeah, this looks like a remake of of the PSP game. But I don't know how to best describe this.
Project G gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
Project G.
Project Genesis.
Settle down.
Hi, Gact! They brought back Gact! It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's like... It's not the same visuals as the original PSP one. This is way better than the PSP version. The UI is definitely different. But at the same time... I don't know if it's because I'm looking at it at like such a low quality.
Hello?
Heaven?
Not quite. It's a church.
It's really pretty.
By the way,
This looks...
what is your dream?
Because parts of it looks cartoonish and other parts of it looks more polished.
No, to become a hero.
Ah, good. Unattainable dreams are the best kind.
Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor. As soldier!
Have I gone crazy? Reunion. Oh god. I am not complaining about this. This is actually really cool.
さて次の映像が最後の情報です。それではどうぞご覧ください。
You should have just said what it was. You should have just said what it was.
What we've done, that's set in stone. The past is forever. But the future, even if it has been written, can be changed. So focus on the future, not the past.
He wants to finish what he started.
Oh, new visuals! Ah!
His birthright.
Sephiroth, what are you doing?
Planet with Genova at his side.
Also, they updated visuals on the bottom left.
I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
No, that's Tifa's voice. That's definitely Tifa's voice. That's not Aerith's voice. You basket!
At his side. I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
You were here with me.
Right.
At his side.
I'm gonna pull this back.
I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
You were here with me.
So it isn't me, it's the stream. It's the literal video. God! Did it happen to everybody else too?
ファイナルファンタジー7リメイクプロジェクトの第2作目にあたるファイナルファンタジー7リバースを発表させていただきました。現在チーム一丸となって鋭意制作中です。そしてリメイクプロジェクトの発表時から複数作にわたって展開することをお伝えしておりましたが、ファイナルファンタジー7
Oh, thank God, it's only 3 parts.
ファンタジー7リバース、そしてその先のもう
It would be a reunion
全3
or
作で完結することをお知らせいたします。まずはファイナルファンタジー7リバースを楽しみにしていただき、ぜひ本プロジェクトの完結までお付き合いいただければと思います。25周年もそれ以降も皆様にお楽しみいただけるようチーム一同尽力してまいります。本日はお付き合いいただきましてありがとうございました。
Was were you having trouble with the stream as well, Mongoose? I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this, okay? We are gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again. Hopefully there is a video now live on the Square Enix YouTube. Square YouTube. Yeah. Amazing. I think they just wasn't anticipating the literal my Zack is on Switch. Yes! It's updated visuals too. It's not the old version, it's a remake. It's a remake of the PSP title. hopefully. We are gonna watch this whole thing again. We are gonna watch the whole thing again. Pretend you've never seen it before. We're watching the whole thing again. We're gonna enjoy this. Hopefully this does not kill my YouTube, my Twitch stream. Guys, get everybody in here. We're going to save everything. I want to cry. I want to laugh and cry. What video are we going to watch? We are watching the whole thing again, but this is the one on their individual website, so hopefully this doesn't have the issues that we just had. I'm just going to quickly check. See, there was a bunch of stuff that I skipped because it was on the thing. It was is it loud for you? We're gonna watch the whole thing again. I'm still gonna react to this. I'm still gonna do the reaction part. I didn't see any video. Oh yeah, you got a point. Yeah, you didn't see anything. This is the first time. First time for everything, everyone.
Defy destiny together.
Mongoose, hang on. I have no idea what you're talking about. Clearly, this is the first time we're ever watching this. We're gonna watch this.
This will be a memory to cherish for the rest of your lives.
What have you done? They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, but I'm not your sister.
Of course.
Let the hunt begin.
Because I am definitely gonna like slow all of this down and look at all the new stuff they added to Crisis Core. My apologies there. Grab your snacks.
皆さんこんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー7 25周年放送ファイナルファンタジー7 25th アニバーサリーセレブレーションの案内役を務めます北瀬義則で
It's
す。
so pretty, right?
この放送では FF7 に関連したさまざまな情報をお届けしていきます。短い時間ではありますが、皆様にお伝えしたい最新情報がたくさんありますので、ぜひ最後までお付き合いください。最初にご覧いただいたのはファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードの Steam 版の配信決定のお知らせでした。Steam ユーザーの皆さん、お待たせいたしました。ついにこの日がやってまいりました。PlayStation 4版ファイナルファンタジー7リメイクはおかげさまで皆様に大変高い評価をいただきました。
I think I've run out of biscuits. I'm sad.
PlayStation 5版、そして
Oh, I haven't.
PC 向けにはファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードをエピックゲームストアで
Have you
販売
never?
いたしました。
Oh wait, hang on.
この度 Steam でリリースすることでさらに多くのプレイヤーの皆さんに
Hang on a
楽しん
second.
でいただきたいと考えております。
I just realized there's no subtitles to this.
またファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードはすでに一部地域で発売されている Steam デックにも対応いたします。 Steam デックなら場所を選ばず気軽に本作をお楽しみいただけます。
There we go.
続いては
Nobody noticed
5
this.
周年に関連した情報を
Nobody
ご覧ください。
noticed the subtitles at all. The first time. Let's see all the cool stuff we can get now. Everyone say it with me. Ooh. Remorbing time. Hi Amadeus, happy fast day. Welcome to the stream. We're rewatching everything because our stream. This is the first time we're watching it actually. My boy is back. Oh really? We won't spoil. But no, what happened was we were watching the stream, and it kept. Well, there was parts of it that it kept skipping. So we didn't watch it. This is the first time. So our reactions will be as if we've only ever seen it the one time. I saw things, but I'm not sure. I saw things and I'm not sure. Let me just make sure. We just no. You're free to get hype. You're free to get hype. We know what's in here, but at the same time, we wanna protect. We wanna keep the illusion. We wanna make sure we understand what we are seeing right now. Is basically my point, Amadeus. And plus, I get to watch it in HD. She's got skates. Nah, it looks like wow, Jasmine. I'm sure it has its fans. Another possibility for a remake. This is clearly the remake we were all waiting for, right? I love the artwork on the bottom right. Very twewy. Sorry about that. See, the one thing I'm interested in this is that one, Tifa has a different outfit. Aerith has a new outfit. Are these outfits that we don't see here? We're gonna see them in the next game. Also, this. Gacked. Hello. His chin's not so round. Sorry, his chin's not so pointy. The sword is different. It looks like young man Sephiroth. Or Riku. What if it's Riku? They're putting Riku in Sephiroth. First time I've seen this copy pasta. I legit did want to think it was Riku or Super.
ファイナルファンタジー7エバークライスの最新映像をお届けいたしました。続いてはこちらをご覧ください。 FF7 ファンの皆様にはきっと喜んでいただける情報になるのではないでしょうか。もちろん私自身も非常に楽しみにしております。
I'm incredibly excited for this one too. I wonder what it could be.
Boy, oh boy. The price of freedom is steep.
This looks more like a remaster, right?
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach?
And Gio. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime.
No, this is a remake. This isn't a full-on remaster. This is a
First-class
remake.
Genesis. A month ago,
Also, they redesigned the
missing during a mission in
Genesis.
Wutai.
You know, I've never actually seen you use that. Don't you think it's sort of a waste?
Use brings about wear, tear, and rust. And that's a real waste.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
Project G gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
Project G.
Project Genesis.
Settle down. Zack the puppy.
Zack the puppy! Oh, we get to hear the voice again! Does that mean I have to do the Genesis cosplay sooner rather than later? Oh, they revamped these cutscenes. Like, some of this feels like remake standard.
Not quite. It's a church.
By the way, what is your dream?
But like other models,
To become first? Is it?
No, to become a hero.
Ah, good. Unattainable dreams are the best kind.
Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor.
As soldier! Come and get it!
it's coming this winter. People thought I was crazy.
さて次の映像が最後の情報です。それではどうぞご覧ください。
What we've done, that's set in stone. The past is forever. But the future, even if it has been written, can be changed. So focus on the future, not the past.
He wants to finish what he started. He wants to reclaim his
Why is he
birthright
there?
and rule over the planet with Genova at his side.
Why is he there?
I saw you lying there.
Why is he
It was too
there?
late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
That was definitely. I thought that was Tifa's voice, not Eris'
5
voice.
years
But
ago. Where are you? What happened to you?
I'm trying so hard to find you.
Sorry. Feel like I failed you.
that's the fallen sector, right? That's the fallen sector, right? There's two clouds. I just realized it said next winter. I just realized it just said next winter.
ファイナルファンタジー7リバースを発表させていただきました。現在
I wasn't expecting it this soon. I mean, I can still be in 2024, but
プロ
still.
ジェクトの発表時から複数作にわたって展開することをお伝えしておりましたが、ファイナルファンタジー7リメイク、ファイナルファンタジー7リバース、そしてその先のもう一作の
The last one will be called Resurrection.
完結することを
The next one, it'll be coming out on 2024, my birthday. Because that's when it came out last time, so I'm gonna go believe that.
ぜひ本プロジェクトの完結まで
So that means we're expecting it in 2026 and not 2030. Thank God.
25周年も
Because we're definitely gonna expect a Final Fantasy. My bet is Resurrection. I thought it was. I was trying to figure out what the name would be. It's like originally I thought it was Reunion.
いただきましてありがとうございました。
Woo! Woo! So, we watched that for the first time. We watched this for the first time. What's your thoughts? I have feelings. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Anyone want to tell me who this guy is? Why is he standing next to this guy? we're gonna answer those questions. Maybe. That's a flashback. No, that can't be a flashback, because if this was a flashback, he would be in the not Soldier First Class outfit. This is not the Soldier First Class outfit. This is clearly not a flashback.
It was too late.
Wait, what are you implying?
Because it's meant to be like, it could be more like a hallucination type thing. I give it that. The Nibelheim incident, yeah. And as you walk around the Nibelheim stuff all over again, that's what happens. Because what are you implying, that I died? That I'm some kind of imposter? No, I think that's not who we see die here. I feel in my bones. I feel in my bones that the person who's saying this right now is Tifa, not Aerith. It's definitely Tifa and not Aerith.
Nova at his side. I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
I want to know what all this is. Also, do you reckon they're gonna retell the story for Crisis Core, and it's not gonna be exactly the same as it was on the PSP version, and they're gonna actually maybe give more context for Genesis and Zack's relationship, tie it better to the events in Dirge of Cerberus, maybe. This is the only time we get to see. Hang on, go back. What is fact and what is fiction?
You were here with me 5 years ago. Where are you? What happened to you?
I'm trying.
You're probably right,
hard
yeah.
to find you.
See, that sounds like Aerith's voice.
Sorry. Feel like I failed you.
Hang on, I'll bring it back in.
Over the planet.
You're probably right. You're probably right on all of that, Karch. You know this. You yes. Explain it. Do it. Theorize. Theorycraft. Do the thing.
Lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
This was the bit I was supposed to pause at.
That I'm some kind of imposter?
Look, it's the scene. It's the scene, everyone. It's the scene where we know is going to be the end of this, or will happen either at the start or in the middle of the game. Yeah, I can explain it. Morbius killed Spider-Man and morphed into Sephiroth, who then went to kill Tifa, basically. Wait, so when Cloud saw Tifa again, did he get a shock? No. So what was happening was, what they're referring to is events that happens in Crisis Core. And the Crisis Core events are... so basically, Cloud took on Zack's memories after the trauma of being experimented on and seeing Zack's death. Because of that, Cloud misremembers the Nibelheim incident. That is true. That is true. But didn't he see? Like, it's not Zack who initially sees... Like, Cloud does legitimately fight Sephiroth and wins that fight, as far as I remember. So we're going to leave it here. I'm going to make sure that this is the main thing everybody sees, because this is the main point of contention. Cloud does, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going crazy here. So my guess would be, this is he just believes he's in Soldier First Class. Yeah, which I do understand. Like about it. Also, thank you very much for the raid, by the way, Amadeus. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We tried to watch this. We tried to watch this properly the first time around. Hello, everyone who be lurking. I hope you do understand. I heard Tifa's voice. And the only thing I'm wondering is, why is Sephiroth walking with him? It's probably gonna be throughout the entire game as well. I legitimately believe that somehow Sephiroth is not just going to be around Nibelheim. I think this might be a hot take. That's a flashback. I definitely believe Sephiroth is going to mess with them even further than what we're seeing right now. I think Sephiroth won't be there for the entire game. He won't be there for the entire game. But he'll be around like the Joker is in Arkham Knight. I think that is something I legitimately believe is going to happen. Up until, or maybe, to be fair, I'm not going to claim to be the best expert on this, but if I'm going to try and make things interesting, I would probably argue that Sephiroth will appear more often, because he appears in the first part of the game as well. Like nobody sees Sephiroth except for unless he wants to be seen type situation. This is probably the part of the universe where it's part of the timeline where Sephiroth is visible to everybody involved. So but in this particular case, I think they're gonna go even more ham with the fact that Sephiroth is really messing with Cloud throughout this entire event. Because this is what causes... It's literally that entire trauma, that entire mix-up of information that leads to this. I feel like that needs to happen more. And Sephiroth will appear as I want to say he's following about, but he's not. I want to say it's more like he'll appear more often and will try to mess with you as a character. Sorry. Anyway. Also, the whole end of FF7 suggests changes moving forward. It literally says in the trailer, what happened in the past will remain, but moving forward there will be changes. I heavily believe that is meant is a it's a readaptation of the story. I get that, and I know that this is always going to be that sort of thing for me, because this is like my first interpretation of FF7 outside of Crisis Core. And I am going to see them heavily try to change whatever they can, and they will go to the nth degree as much as they can. So there, I watched the clip you took from my streams, and wow, I really like Sephiroth. Wow.
You were here with me.
See, this is the bit that I want to know more about.
What happened to you?
This is basically after Crisis Core.
To find you.
Sorry. Feel like I failed you.
Pretty soon you won't be able to refer to remake as SF7R. I mean, it's still gonna be called FF7R. It's gonna be referred to as FF7R series, the R series. And The first one. Yeah, it's remaking whatever's happening next. Yes, that's true. Also, Crisis Core remake, FF16, FF7, FF14 expansion. Square is on fire right now. Final Fantasy is on fire right now. Square is doing amazingly well. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, going back to point, I definitely think that Sephiroth is going to be messing around a little bit more and will maybe even F with you in battle. And he would be the interesting take from a design standpoint. What if they just say, all right, Sephiroth possesses Cloud from parts of the battle? To really hammer that point home. Because that way, it really sells the idea that Cloud and Zack and Sephiroth are really messing with his head effectively. Like Cloud is the vehicle to Zack and Sephiroth's memories to a certain degree, because the trauma of Sephiroth being about. I feel like that might have be included in some part of the game dynamic, like as in it's a playable part of the game dynamic. Like Sephiroth being the devil and Zack being the angel in that situation, where it's like you have not a morality system. I highly doubt it's going to be a morality system, but it's just the idea of being able to push towards, oh, you are going to do something, or you aren't going to do something, or advice being given to you is confusing you because you don't know if it's really yours. That's the whole point of Cloud's story in this part, as far as I understand it, is that this is now you have a team that essentially trusts you, and you are getting to know this team better. Like, you don't have to prove your trust to them, you just now have to prove that you'll follow through or you have their backs. That's kind of the main point. And if Cloud is the point of contention for now, like I said, this is the bit of the story where I don't know much about, not gonna lie. Everything outside of Calm up until what is effectively Aerith, the events for Aerith, is completely blurry to me. Don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Golden Saucer. I don't know what they're going to do with Golden Saucer. I don't know about the little areas in between here. But what I believe they would do here is, in these sections, they would put more of a heavier emphasis towards Sephiroth and Zack confusing you. Everyone's disturbing me now because everyone's come home. I do wonder how far this will go through FF7, maybe Death of Aerith. I think it probably will. They have to. Because if you don't have that event, you do not have the rest of the game. You do not have the rest of the story without that event happening. It's a very important event because it changes the entire motivation for the rest of the crew. At least that's the way I look at it. At least, and that's my understanding of it, is that the reason why Aerith was, and forgive me if I'm getting stuff wrong, because I am. I'm going to get stuff wrong. Aerith is a very important part of the character because you like Aerith by the end of her tenure in the group, and the only time you ever really hear about Aerith again is at the end of the game. And the fact, at least as far as I understand, until the end of the game, even though she is mentioned probably throughout, in the end, like it goes from we have to save the world to it's a revenge tour. This is not up for debate anymore. This is not we're doing this for the good of the planet. No, we're doing this because Aerith got effed over and we do not like Sephiroth to the point where that guy needs to be grounded and we have to do everything we can because it saves everyone else involved. It just sounds more like one of those. So it has to happen. You can't not let it happen. You can only delay the inevitable. And that's probably what they're going to try and make a force for. Like, they are going to try and keep Aerith from dying as much as they possibly can. But it will have to happen. It's just going to come down to whether it's going to be a self-sacrifice. Or if it's going to be a sacrifice out of your